How are you doing today? Welcome to the first episode of the Z Tribe Africa YouTube channel. All right, so today we are keeping it fun. We are starting on a light note. So I decided to share 5 things that I wish I knew when I was a teenager. Okay, so it's story time. Let's dig in. The first thing that I would say that I wish I knew earlier is to enjoy the moment. You see, recently I was looking at my throwback pictures, and the way I was looking in those pictures, if I do say so myself, I was looking fine, but I was really slim, eh? You will know that it is throwback truly. And at that time, I used to feel like, let me watch my weight. My stomach has started coming out. Let me have flat tummy. I used to be really concerned about how I look. And then looking out back at it now, I'm like, you were a babe. You were fine. You were good. So that's one lesson that I learned, to enjoy the moment. And that's just in terms of looks. What about other things? What about the school life? There will be a time that you will miss that secondary school that you're saying, let me quickly be a graduate, let me quickly finish. And then when you finish that secondary school, you're looking forward to being in the university. And when you're in the university, you're like, oh, this stress is too much. Let me quickly get out of the university and start working. My dear, I'm just trying to be real here. It's just a beautiful journey from one level to the other if you decide that you want to make the best of it and make it beautiful. So number one lesson, again, enjoy the moment. Okay. Number two, speak out. You ask people that lived or that were raised the time that I was, or even older people than I am, a lot of them would tell you that they grew up in an environment where they were trained not to speak up. When you're having a discussion with your parents or something happened, they're saying, you're hearing things like, I'm talking where you're talking and all of that. Now, what I'm trying to say is that it is not for you to be rude or anything. Look for the best time to speak, but make sure that you speak out. You see that thing of keeping something within yourself and expecting that people will read your mind and know what you're going through? My dear, I've lived for a while and I will tell you that it does not work. If you don't tell someone that something is wrong with you, they would not know. And so when you're acting out, they are just thinking that you're just being rude or you're just being, disobedient or whatever, not knowing that there's something else deep down eating you up and you're expecting that people would know. But if you don't speak out, you may not get the answers that you're looking for. So, and when I say speak out, I don't mean that you should now start, chattering to the whole world. Ways to speak out includes keeping a journal. You can write how you are feeling. That would help you to process your thoughts. You can also look for, the right people to talk to. If you have an auntie or an uncle close to you, or even your parents that you're comfortable around, tell them what you're going through. Tell them, ask them questions, let them explain things to you. And that way, you get clarity and you will grow from there. So, number two, again, speak out. Number three, I don't know if you like this one, but house chores are actually good for you. Trust me, I did not enjoy house chores when I was growing up too. I think the only one I liked was sweeping. I liked sweeping and I like washing the toilets. That's weird, right? But those house chores that you don't like, especially, washing the plate, when you have washed the plate and then there's now that pot that is there that they used to make amala that is now, if you are not using the kind of all those pots that are non-stick, there are just some plates that you just don't like washing. Yes, I know, I've been there too. Or socks. There are just some house chores that you rather do without. Let me tell you the truth, they're actually good for you. What do I mean by that? They are teaching you good work ethics. When you are grown or when you are more older than this, the things that you have learned during those house chores rather, the discipline that you have learned, you have them to fall back upon, because you know that if I don't finish this thing that I've started, somebody is going to ask me, which is your parents. You're accountable to them. And that teaches you discipline and accountability to where you're growing up. When nobody is looking up your shoulders to say that, oh, have you done this? Have you done that? So when you are doing those house chores, they actually help you to build your capacity. They help you to build good work ethics. They help you to build discipline that you will definitely need when you are grown. And let's not even talk about the fact that those things that you want to avoid doing in your parents' house are the things that you will still eventually do when you're on your own by yourself, and they will save your life, to be honest. So, number three, enjoy your house chores. Number four, now, this one, it is that parents don't always mean what they say when they're angry. I've had my fair share of it, and because I also work with teenagers, I've heard teenagers complain to me about my parents said this, my parents said that. Even when me and my siblings sit and talk, we also remember some things that our parents said that were unpleasant, that we didn't like. What I want you to know is that when you ask them deep down, some of the time, a lot of the time actually, they don't mean what they say when they are angry at you. They just want to get, a lot of them, the way they are feeling is how they want to pour it out. And I'm not even making an excuse to say that's the best way to deal with things, but that's how they know how to do it for now. And so that's why they're acting based on their knowledge. So let's give them some grace in that area. But what I'm just trying to say is that don't take everything that they say to you when they're angry at face value, because a lot of times they actually do not mean it, and they don't even understand the impact of how much weight their words carry. But you, on your own, know within your heart that when your parents say some things that are not so pleasant or perhaps negative, they don't always mean it. When you check back later, you'll find out that they might even be willing to apologize, to say that, oh, I did not mean it that way and I'm sorry. So, lesson number four, parents are not always right when they're angry. Okay? Yes. Now, finally, lesson number five. So, lesson number five that I wish I knew early enough is that I do not have to fit in. Whew, deliverance. You don't always have to fit into your friend group and stuff. Now, let me explain. I'm not even trying to say you should be the bad apple, or you should be, the kind of person that nobody wants to engage in. You have to have good characters. The Bible says that who wants to be friend, to have friends, must show himself friendly. But this is what I'm trying to say. There are different kind of friendships, and there are friendship for different kind of seasons, right? So you cannot expect that one friend will meet all the needs that you have. Some of them are just good for gists. Some of them is, you can talk about your academics, you can brainstorm together, you can do things together. Some of them are for your creativity. When you are feeling like being creative, that kind of friend that you can talk to, right? Yeah. Some of them, they you can go to them for advice, you can go to them to learn something from them when you are confused. They are just that calm person and that shoulder to lie on. Why some of them is for activities. Let's be outside. Let's go out. Let's do stuff. Those are what those kind of friends are for. So if you're trying to fit into all of this for everybody, you're going to exhaust yourself. And at the end of the day, you will not be making the best use of that relationship. And all these people that I've mentioned, all these kind of different categories, it's not as if they are bad or anything. It's just that that's just the way they are wired, and then that's the way they can meet, your needs at that particular time. So, my dear, stop trying to fit into everybody's box, and stop trying to carry on relationships that that no longer serve you. The more you grow, the more you learn, the more you realize that some relationships are just for a certain period of time, and when that time is over, there's no need to be hanging on. And I'm not saying that you should burn bridges or insult people and get out of relationship in a nasty way. Those relationships, still nurture them. Say hi to them one time, once in a while. Be good to everybody, because you don't know where you will meet yourselves in the future again. But don't hold on to it as if your life, depends on it. So that is lesson number 5. Yay! And that brings us to the end of this YouTube video. I hope that you enjoyed it. And I don't want to be the only one talking, okay? So if you have some things that you have learned that you wish you learned sooner as well, please drop it in the comment section. And you know also what to do. Hit that subscribe button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, share this video with your friends. Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section, and see you in the next video. Bye.